You're such an asshole.
I facetiously named myself High School Counselor Cappy because it was a joke. I'd never be one. It doesn't take much to be one. Regurgitate the same thing. Here's some drugs. Maybe you are a girl. I don't. Oh yeah, yeah. But then it dawned on me. I would be kind of like the libertarian in Parks and Rec, where his goal is to shut down the Parks and Rec department because it's government. And I'd be like, yeah, get out of high school. Like, my advice would be like, look, if you can homeschool yourself, there's got to be an online alternative. While you're studying these mandatory classes set to you by the state in the high school at home, I would be taking concurrent courses at community colleges, also online, so you could study once but get the credit for it. And I'd just be getting the hell out of high school. I get a job. Don't waste your time on the bus. Don't waste your time commuting. Invest in yourself. Start a lawn mowing service. Make more money than the teachers. This is a horrific and horrendous waste of your time, youth, and energies. And you could come out of this at the age of 18 with easily $100,000 in your pocket, and half of your college educated requirements knocked out if you decide to go to college. And honest to God, that would be the best thing to tell every high school kid in America right now. Those that actually care about their future. But we all know high school is merely a babysitting operation, so your parents don't have to take care of you until you're an adult. And then they ship you off to college, where both you, them, and the taxpayer continue to pay for adult daycare babysitting. Because let's just admit it, you don't want to work in the real world. This guy does. Anonymous writes, hey, Cappy, so I wanted to lay out the situation I am in and get your opinion on where I should go from here. So I graduated high school. He graduated. He owned a high school, and he graduated it. He turned it into a college. A lot of people own a lot of school. A lot of people own college and high school. They just I graduated college. Oh, did you graduate a college? What did you turn it into? A grad school? An institution? A think tank? What comes after that? I graduated high school. You graduated from high school a year ago and worked for a company doing a little bit of code infrastructure. Although I effing hate it, my boss is a cuck. And I know it's good experience for the future. Making $30,000 a year salary. Well, that's pretty good, especially when did you graduate? A year ago? So you're 19 and you're making $30,000 already in a legit profession. That is outstanding. Imagine if you had Aaron Clary as a high school guidance counselor and told you at the age of 14, yeah, you should learn to program and code now and go to school online from home, but mail it in. And then by the time you're 16, you'll be making, $30,000 a year from home. And then you'd be like, wait, I got my driver's license. I can do this in Phoenix, Arizona, where there's no snow this winter. And then you'll be a millionaire by the age of 25. I don't know. I just did the opposite of what my teachers and parents told me. Some crazy guy on the internet said to do this. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is the industry I want to go down, though, after doing it for a while. I started waiting tables at night, but that'd be called, for all you who are other 19-year-olds who are confused, this is called he's got a job. He's got two jobs. Is that possible? Yes. In the olden days, it was possible to have two jobs. You're probably making more of a killing than you realize because so many of your peer group just don't want to work and they're going to go to college to save the planet like the two previous generations before them. How'd that work out? It's even worse. I know. How about nuclear power plants? No. Okay. It is winter. Start waiting tables at night on Thursday through Saturday, making about $30 to $50 an hour. So you, sir, are already making not only more than college graduates, and the majority of graduate student people with their master's or doctorate, not only making more than the majority of them, you are making more than even people who majored in the right thing like STEM, like engineering and accounting, being a waiter. You don't need college. You don't need a career or profession. I'm telling you right now, you are making more than enough to live on as a single guy, certainly. $50 an hour, my God, you could support a family on that if you wanted to. And I gotta introduce this concept again. Look, the whole point of going to college The real point, not the point that everyone goes to, treating it like an incredibly overpriced luxury good for an experience, the college experience. And then they bitch and whine as like 38-year-old millennials. I need a bailout living at home with my parents. They treated college as a luxury good. College should be used as an investment in yourself to raise your wage so you make more money. That's it. That's the only reason you should be going to college. If you want to help out society and be intellectual, the library is free and you can volunteer for whatever hopeless, pathetic leftist cause that will not solve the problem and just make it worse. All right? You do not need to go to college for that. So the only reason for you to go to college in the real world is to make money. You're already making more than people with a college degree. Even those with legit college degrees like accounting, engineering, programming, and stuff like that. You must be a good waiter if you're making $35 to $50 an hour. You must be getting good tips, showing up regularly, showing up sober. So you don't have to go to college if you don't want to. What you're going to need to wrestle with is, are you okay being a part-time computer programmer and a waiter? And you know what? They're perfectly fine careers. Perfectly fine to be a waiter. Do you know where most liberal arts majors end up anyway? They end up in food service. So you bypassed the unnecessary costs and complete pissing away of your time to do a job that most college graduates are going to do anyway in their life. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that you don't really need a profession, especially nowadays, and especially if you're not going to have kids. There are so few people who show up on time, on sober, alone, and willing to work, that wages have been going up that you could actually go and make a living. Just, I don't know, being a truck driver. A lot of these boring ho-hum jobs are starting to pay enough now because, frankly, 2 generations of kids don't want to work. They're living at home with their parents. And unless you were going to get married or start a family, I'd strongly recommend you just keep living with your folks if you want, banking this money. Look into my video about the bachelor hut. But there's nothing wrong. You don't have to go to college now, man. You've won. You've avoided 4 years of you're 19, you're making, say, $40 an hour. That's 80 grand a year. You don't got rent. You could easily squirrel away about 30 grand a year. Maybe you want to have a great social life. You could squirrel away after expenses and all that and taxes. By the time you are college graduate age and all your sanctimonious, smug friends went to college and they graduated from college. They didn't own a college and graduate it. You'll have 120 grand, probably more if you invested it in the right investments. Let's say 120 grand cash and no debt and 4 years work experience. And probably, if you kept up the programming thing, proficiency in some kind of computer code, making even more money if you'd like, working from home. You will be decades ahead of all your college educated peer group. Why? Because it's going to take them at least 10 years to get out of their student loan debt. And you're coming in the 4th year with over 6 figures saved up, and they got debts probably of an equivalent amount. So if you include that, you're at least $170,000 to $200,000 ahead of your peer group. So there's no, and here's another thing. I want you, if you're so inclined, please go get this book and read the chapter about what the point and purpose of a career is. All right. For that chapter alone, it's worth the $25 to get that book, but that'll put things into context. But you don't have to go to college. You don't have to have a career or profession. In America today in 22, showing up on time, sober, and simply doing your job the right way is enough to have a livable wage. It sounds like you're doing it. So we're going to get to the rest of your question, which is, well, what should I do? And I'd say you should probably just keep doing what you're doing. Go have fun. You've solved that problem. But if you still need some kind of intellectual pursuit, you have this compunction to do something more than just being a waiter. Like you want to go get an actual skill or trade, that's fine. I'm just saying, understand the whole point of getting a skill or a trade or going to college is to make money so you can support yourself. And you're already doing a fine job of that. You don't have to go to college, okay? You don't have to go to trade school. You don't have to do anything. You're doing just fine. My question is, should I just keep doing the coding even though I don't like it alongside waiting tables? Or should I just say F the coding and wait tables full time and learn another kind of trade because the economy is going down the crapper and a financial collapse is on the come up? I've also had thoughts about just waiting tables and doing some reconnaissance over the next 6 to 10 months. That is the most intelligent thing I think I've heard a 19-year-old say. Instead of you investing 4 years of your time trying, you're going to like, maybe I ought to just go have a little bit of fun, travel a little bit and wait tables, figure out who I am and where I belong in this country. That is exactly what I recommend you do. There's nothing wrong with waiting tables. Save up a little bit of money and go travel. I mean, if you do the waiting tables thing the right way, you could kind of be a traveling wait staff. That happens, over here in South Dakota, we got the Sturgis rally. A lot of people come in for the rally. Then they leave for whatever, some cowboy fest out in Montana. And then they go to Hootenanny, the Wyoming Hootenanny. There's no such thing, by the way, but you get the idea. Why don't you just travel around? Why don't you go? Look, every major metro has nothing but 2 generations of young people that have been brought up to think they don't have to work. And oh my God, it's an oppression of their rights that they got to wake up and show up on time. So you could walk into any major metro, and if you got bartending or waitstaff experience, walk in. Now, maybe you're not going to make no $40 to $50 an hour, but you should be able to make enough to live. Van life would be ideal for you. You might want to look into van life. That way you're not having to rent and pay egregious rental prices. So I'd look into van life definitely for you. Maybe you got to work a year, save up the money for a reliable quality van and the tools to fix it. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've also had thoughts about would love your opinion. Yeah, doing some reconnaissance over the next 6 to 10 months. Absolutely. And if you're in the northern states and it's coming a winter, perfect chance to get the hell out. Go to Florida. Bunch of old rich people don't want to cook. And all the young people down there don't want to work. It's everywhere in the United States. So you just show up like you're their savior. You're showing up on time, making good money. Absolutely. But here's the thing. The questions you're asking, should I try the trades? And this is a larger question a lot of young people fresh out of high school face. You are not supposed to know what you're supposed to do out of high school. Right? And what you think you should do out of high school is wrong because nearly every adult in your life has lied to you about they're not lying and like, if you do what you love, you never work a day your life. Well, I guess that's true. I guess so, but you'll also be poor. So in that regard, they're not wrong. But in terms of the advice they've given you, that advice is completely wrong and ineffectual and will hurt you and harm you as you enter the real world. Because high school is ended now. High school is an artificial, fake environment. That does now it continues on in college, but that's where you get to pay to go to high school and go into crippling levels of debt. But that is also an artificial environment. And the best thing every high school student can do, regardless of how legitimate your degree might be that you originally wanted to major in, is take a gap year like you're doing, go and work in the real world. I mean, the wages haven't been this good ever. Not since I've been alive. I've been alive a long time. I remember making $3.30 an hour. Of course, I was in the 7th grade. That was quite some time ago. But right now, it would be of every young person's best interest, high school graduate, to skip college, go get some kind of working job, live at home, and do exactly what you're doing. You tried the coding. It's not for you. Well, at least you tried it. Maybe you should try a trade. Okay, yeah, try a trade. Now, do you sign up for trade school? No, but why don't you go and see if there's some general... I think a really good plan for you, well, yeah, go do the reconnaissance, but if you're making $40 an hour, let's not be hasty. Let's not be rash. Why don't you... I'm assuming you're living at home. Keep living at home. Keep working that job and make some travel and expedition money. But if you don't like the coding, see if there's some kind of contracting out there, some kind of construction. All right, go be just a general laborer. Pick up some skills or trade. Like, why don't you learn some basic wiring? Maybe there's a community college course on wiring. Maybe the local trade school or the institute has something on plumbing. How about you and your old man have a bonding moment and say, what needs to be fixed in the house? I think that'd be a brilliant idea, because then your labor isn't wasted going to a school or anything like that. You and your old man, you fire up the YouTubes, say, Dad, what does mom want fixed in the house? Well, why don't you and I this weekend try and fix it? And there'll be some problems. You will screw up, which gives you even more opportunity to get some experience in working general carpentry. All right. I'd be careful with the electricity, obviously with the plumbing. But ask your mom, what do you want, a new kitchen? You and your old man, let's do it. Put in a new kitchen. You know what would be great? Here would be great. This foolishly, I know I'm being foolish assuming your parents are still married, because divorce, ladies, am I right? Nuclear family's so square, isn't it? But let's say an outside chance your parents are still together, and your mom she has this dream kitchen she wants, right? Okay. So you guys are going to knock out the 1985 kitchen and the Rambler that your parents bought and you grew up in. We're going to knock it out, Mom. We're going to do this for you. And you guys botch it. Like, nothing's aligned. Nothing's right. The colors are off. The oven only works part functionally. I would absolutely get an electrician in to make sure everything's up to code, make sure your job is right. Do the plumbing if you can. The thing isn't. And if there was a soul within your mother and she actually loved you boys, what would be great is you'd have this herka-derka-durd, just D- level kitchen that looked like the kid made the cigar. Here, Dad, I made you a cigarette ashtray. I made you an ashtray. It's the most horrible, ugly thing ever. And you, as a father, you would prize that anyway because your son did it. If your mom loved you and your old man and you guys gave it your best try, she would probably never want to. This isn't an ideal world. She would be so happy that you guys tried and that there'd be so much character and incompetent love baked into this horrific kitchen you made her. She would love it and be like, no, I like the fact that that's off by 20 degrees. I like the fact that the tile isn't working. This is assuming a very wonderful woman who loves humans for humans and not the things that they can bring her. But, make your mom happy. Oh, she doesn't like the bathroom. Let's put in a new toilet. Let's do that. I think that'd be a good because I'm assuming, somebody, if you have a house to work on, and if not, your family, let's say your family is, more normal, they're divorced and they hate each other and you don't know where your dad is, America. Maybe someone needs work done on their house. Like, hey, let's tackle this. Let's do this. Watch some videos, be safe, get the safety goggles, get some safety gloves, and just tackle it that way. And then, after one project, okay, we're going to install a toilet and redo this kitchen or this bathroom. You do one room, you're going to know quickly whether or not you like doing carpentry. That would be a wonder. I'd just running with that idea. Like that's how it should be. You guys try and help out your mom. Your mom's like, oh, it's so, it's like a pug. It's ugly. It's horrific to look at, but it's adorable at the same time too. It's because her son and her husband did it for her. She wouldn't dare part with her kitchen. That could be your new website. Dye kitchens. Yeah. But the larger point is this is exactly what you should be doing at 18, 19, 20 before you, at the age of 14, listen to a bunch of freaking know-nothings. And truly, I mean that. Know-nothings, meaning your teachers, because your teachers, this is very important for every young person out there understanding. Your teachers, most of them, not all of them, but most of them have never been out of school since they were 5 years old. Think about that. Your guidance counselor started school at 5 years old, did the thing and the stuff, probably a goody two-shoes. Those are the types. They don't think. Then he or she went to college, and he or she went back to high school or grade school or whatever. to teach or be a guidance counselor. They've never left school. This is why they always want more taxes. Oh, it's so a hard job being a teacher. It's like, don't you get summers off? How is this hard? It's because quite literally, most of them, they've never had a real job. Now, you get a legit vet who's been in war or some kind of tradesman or somebody who just like, I teach. Yeah, I thought I'd go teach because they got injured. Those people have worked real jobs and they'll have a different tune. But your teachers are simply not capable of giving you real world advice because the simple fact is they haven't lived it in the real world. So whatever advice they've given you since 14, I don't know when they start brainwashing you about, follow your heart and the money will follow. 13, I don't know, 7th, 8th grade, whatever. That advice is horrible. And so nearly every high school graduate graduating from high school, they have the wrong information. Most of them, a disproportionately high percentage of them, believe the lie that they can do whatever they want to major in that's fun and they're going to make money. And then they're poor and they can't pay back their student loans and then they need a bailout. And we're talking 35-year-old adults. You might have some older brothers or sisters like that. But you should spend a year at least not get out. Don't you want to leave school? Don't you want to get out of school? I know you left school. You're the smart one. That's why you're making the good money. All right. But every high schooler should not be going to college. What is it? Junior year, they say, hey, you got to get ready for college. Are you signed up for college yet? Why are you signing up for college? You're going to die poor under a bridge with herpes if you don't go to college. It's like, is that why everyone needs a student loan bailout at 37? And what every high schooler should do is exactly what you're doing, going out and trying different things. So you've done the programming. That's good. Go try doing some carpentry work. Absolutely. Maybe do DoorDash or drive truck or something like that. Get certified as forklift. Go work in a warehouse or something. I don't know. This is exploratory time. But man, that $40 an hour on average you're making as a waiter, I'd hold on to that. So I do that as your daytime gig, and then use do that as your main gig. I'm going to presume it's in the evening, and then in the daytime, that's your exploratory. So if you don't like working code, then don't do it anymore. All right. Try trade school, try this, try that, try working on project, whatever it is. If you can experience the work without having to go to school, you'll figure out whether you like it. Do you want to do, Uber Eats or be an Uber driver? Go drive around and do Uber. This sucks. Now here's my forecast though. The day's going to come though that you're going to have to settle on something. And what I'm going to forecast and predict is you're going to find out that all jobs suck. And you're going to think, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong? There must be something wrong with this area. No, all jobs suck. Watch my video. All jobs suck. Another thing, don't try until you're 35. Although that's changing now because of the labor. All right. I know your teachers lied to you that you should have this great job and there's a buffet and everyone's in a bouncy house and then there's unicorn farts and you're all drinking Mountain Dew and playing video games and totally rewarding and you're helping save lives and change the planet and make the world and all this other crap. No. You're going to be cleaning toilets. You're going to be cutting wood. You're going to be changing oil. You're going to program boring code. You're going to be serving people their food because that's what the world wants and that's what they're going to pay you for. And so the sooner you realize that all jobs suck, even the ones that are presumably fun. Have you played a video game that's really fun? You're like, yeah, this is the greatest game ever. What happens after 3 months? Oh, I'm bored with it. That's every job. I mean, and look at my buddy Sterling Cooper. He is a legit porn star. Guess what? Some days he doesn't want to go to work. Some days he doesn't want to have sex. Even sex gets boring. And so I would not approach these potential jobs or professions you're pursuing or sampling in your gap year or two as, does it make me happy? Does it bring me joy? They're not going to bring you happy. They're not going to bring you joy. You should be asking, can I do this? Is it a pain in the ass for me to do it? And it's all going to be a pain in the ass for you to do it, but is it a tolerable pain in the ass? Can I see myself becoming even more proficient at it? Do I have a knack for it? And that is how I'd start it, because I'm so happy it's sunny outside. It's great working outside. Yeah, in September. And then come January, why is it so cold? Well, it's January. Or if you're in Phoenix, why am I roofing in July? I don't know why you're roofing in July. I would go up north. And all of a sudden that programming job doesn't seem so bad now, does it? But man, you are light years ahead of nearly every 19-year-old in America right now, because you're making money, you're not going into debt, you're developing a work ethic. Sounds like you already got one. You're trying different things. And absolutely, I'd be doing some reconnaissance. Absolutely. I think, but since you're making really good money now, let's stash up some money, get yourself a van. All right. So you have a place to live if you want to do reconnaissance. You could also do DoorDash or what's it called? Roadie. The tornado chasing kid does roadie because he chases tornadoes. So he does van life, but he's got a van. So what he does is traveling long distances. He'll haul things. I think the app is called Roadie, and it's like, oh, you're going from this town to that town 1,000 miles away. You mind carrying this thing? We'll pay you $50. Hell yeah, give me that thing. I think he does DoorDash when he's in a local town. So that's what I would be doing. Hell, he's the expert on that. I didn't do that when I was younger. That's what I should have done when I was younger. So yeah, I would try the trade school. You could postpone the programming. All right. But and then come up with a bunch of other things you like to do, but don't give up your wait staff job. And then you know what? Also, no, I'm only making 120,000 as like the senior waiter at this high-end restaurant where they tip a lot. I only make 120,000 a year. I don't think you need to go to college, dude. I think you're good to go. And then your concerns about economic collapse. Yeah, trades would be something better. That would definitely be something better to have. But I would not worry about that yet so much. But yeah, if you're really concerned about that, yeah, learn a trade, learn electricity, learn how to generate electricity. But then you'd have to go to a legit trade school and figure that out. Another question, feel free to, is even worse starting a serious career with the economic collapse incoming. Look, hyperinflation, yes, it not a serious career where you're relying upon the infrastructure, but yes, it is valuable to develop a serious skill, like being a dentist. Another safe thing would be becoming a tax accountant. Why tax accountant? Because what do you think the solution is going to be? Hey, everyone should shut up. We're cutting off the welfare and the stimmy checks, and now you're going to have to work for a living, and we're going to lower taxes, keep what you kill? No, they're going to increase tax. We need to tax the rich people more so fat, lazy people can sit on their asses and bitch about not being rich, which is basically the Democrat Party. It's just true. So if you're worried about that, welding, auto mechanic, dentistry, the trades, coding, you're right, not so much. But, there, what I would do is we're not going to collapse. I don't think we're going to collapse and go to like a post-apocalyptic world. There'll still be electricity. There'll still be civilization. So there's still going to be YouTube, which could teach you how to fix things. So that's what I would be doing. I mean, look, it gets bad enough. People start building nuclear power plants again. Just look at Germany. Wie geht's? Ist kalt, ja? What is it? Wo ist der Schnee? Here is the Schnee. Ist sehr kalt. Ja, Hans? There you go. All right, let's go to super chats if we have any. If you guys kindly would. All right, so link down below. Before I go into the super chats, link down below is a resource that'll help all you young high school kids not destroy your lives like the millennials. It's called Worthless, the Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. You could also get this book. I didn't link to it, How Not to Become a Millennial. I won't lie, it's going to tell you the exact opposite of what your parents and teachers told you the entire time. But look at what happened to the previous generation that followed teachers and parents and professors' advice. I don't know. You could be poor and miserable like the millennials. I don't care. Your life. Also linked down below, which is going to be a little bit probably out of most high schoolers' price range, but if you take it and you do what's in it, you're going to not need money. You'll be wealthy way before any of your college graduating peers. And that is achieving minimalism. I know all you, this is for you boys, all you young high school graduates. I need to get a car. No, you don't. And so before you sign up for a car loan where the car payment is $700 a month, I have a course offered through Teachable on a philosophy called minimalism. That is $500 on average. It's $450 and you got to pay tax. So that depends on your state. But if you would like to get your financial act together, I strongly recommend taking that course, which will be more valuable. I will promise you this. It's more valuable than any course you ever taken in college, kindergarten through high school. It is going to be the most valuable course you've ever taken because they don't teach you anything in high school. I'm sorry, high schoolers. I'm sorry, teachers. You're not that high of a hurdle to jump over. I won't even piss on you while I'm jumping over the hurdle like, hey. But you may want to take that. So, because all boys I'm speaking to largely, all you boys are going to college or I got to make the money. Why? To get the girls. Okay, that's fine. There's a logic there. But before you go and make the monies, why don't you prioritize not only what's really important in life, aside from the girls, outside of the girls, but figure out the quickest way to get the monies. All right. And the way they tell you, just like everyone else tells you, the way to get the girls is to piss away your money on very expensive items to show it off. I'm rich, bro. When you get old enough, you'll realize, no, you don't want to tell anyone you're rich. Like if I ever made millions of dollars, I wouldn't tell anyone. I'm like, oh, no. It's going to be a tight month. But you will destroy your not even long-term, your immediate, medium-term, and long-term finances trying to be rich by going to college and making lots of money and buying a bunch of crap. A much more intelligent way is to figure out what can you buy that goes up in value and how to avoid spending your money on expensive, shiny things like cars. Paying attention, many boys? Cars, brand new cars with payments, cars to impress the girls. So that course is down there below as well. It's called Achieving Minimalism Theory and Practice. It's very expensive. I will put it up against any high school class you've taken, unless you got like a class in high school about accounting or programming that actually pays you to get a job at the end. Yeah, English composition, freshman composition, sophomore composition. Like, you need more English. You've only been speaking it since you were like 3 years old. Oh, yeah, geometry. You're going to use trig all the time. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's go through the super chats. Let's go through the super chats. Wait, is there a girl in here? Waiting wasn't fun. Very tedious for everyone as a career. Why do we have a girl in here? Atham, how did a girl get paid? There's girls in our chat room. How the hell did that happen? Who let the girls in? She's pretty too. What the hell's going on? It's supposed to be a channel of grumpy old men yelling at you darn kids nowadays. Tom, $2. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Tom. How are you? Ray John, our Canadian agent in the field, $2. I just took the root beer float. Oh, did you have to? Did your dictator trust fund baby supreme force you guys to? Well, I hope you're feeling good. I hope there's no complications. I guess Reconnaissance Man would be another book people could get if you don't want to drop five. I understand if you don't want to drop $500 on a course. I get that. You guys are gonna blow so much more money on women though, and not get a thing for it. I'll tell you that right now. Look, what I want you boys to do, okay, you young high school or 19, 20-year-old boys, you keep track of how much money you spend chasing girls, going to nightclubs, buying girls dates, and when you hit the $500 mark, you say, what did I get for this $500? And then I'm going to ask you, okay, reevaluate whether you want to take my course or not and see if like, maybe not being poor ever again. Maybe I should do that. Are we caught? Oh, Donna Hannaford. Hey, where have you been? My Australian mistress agent in the field. $2 Australian. Yes, us girls are here. Well, you're always here. You're one of the guys now, practically, Donna. There's a new gal at them. Once you get in, no, we can't kick them out. Now they're in the sheetrock. We can't get them unless we want to take down the whole darn house. Just paint over them. Now we got to spray. What happens when Atham doesn't do his job? That was Donna. That's it. There you go. See you guys later. Toodles.